We're changing up our format just a little bit today, and only for this video to focus a bit more on the analysis of this match rather than straight up shoutcasting it. This is mainly because of the nature of the match, among a few other reasons. Again, really just for this video, 98% of the time, we're shoutcasting, like an esport. The match itself comes from October 5th. We're talking about this on the 19th of October, though. Again, this is unique because normally we're just kind of recording these live, not really in post. But the thing about Zeraora, and I really appreciate it with this player because they do know how to, I think, control Zeraora with this specific moveset that we're gonna see. And what I mean by that is just the small preview of what's up ahead. We're gonna use Discharge, but not with Spark. Instead, he's gonna go Volt Switch, which you can make a case for either one. But we're gonna see why this is pretty cool. This orange Jigglypuff, it was actually taking some of the farm over on their side, and Zeraora really does need that. It's really recommended for Zeraora to go jungle. Is Jigglypuff in trouble, man? It's trying to be a Chad right here, and then boom! But you're gonna get your upgraded moves. You're gonna be able to pick your attacks at level 6 and level 8. It's gonna get disrupted right here on the gold, and we should maybe just mention the items really quickly. Actually, also very good. One thing about Zeraora also having agility just in your first move sets right here is that you can be in orange territory like this, and actually it's okay. You can just jump around, steal those berries if you need to, jump back to the goal, your territory, whatever you need. So it's really neat. But I should just tell you, the game, of course, many of you maybe know this, and some of what we talk about today will be base level, and some of it's going to be a little bit more technical. But the game will show you a recommended item set, but also what the masters level people use, for these characters. So we've showed that on screen right here, and just realize, we will kind of cut out certain parts of the match just for skipping ahead for the points that we need to nail right here. And so Zeraora gonna get this nice 28 and somewhat early on, so that top goal actually is near breaking, but it's very good. They have rotated down for the Dreadnought. It looks like we do have all the squad members, at least for purple. We notice orange is a little bit shaky. They've got that Fletchender going up, but as long as it's not too far away, you can still manage that. It's just, when you've got squad on squad, you may need every single person there. So that's the danger. And then we also see, of course, it wasn't known as we were saying it, but Fletchender now completely rotating up top. And so again, that kind of leaves your squad high and dry a little bit. Zeraora gonna go ahead and engage this right here. And so we're gonna comment on what just happened right there in a little bit because we do see it work later, but there's kind of like this technique, let's call it, where you can use your boosted attacks from your basics along with Discharge and Volt Switch specifically to pull an enemy a pretty far distance in with you. And so we'll see that a little bit later on. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. Left side team is going to get those shields, going to get the experience. That's very, very good. You can see they're pretty well stacked. When you look at the level comparisons between purple and orange right now, stacked up. And by the way, we had a Slowbro episode on this channel where we were, of course, doing the usual. Again, that's 98% of the time we are just kind of shoutcasting these in real time, live. So I do have to reiterate, this is not the usual format, what we're doing right now. But just to comment on the Slowbro, this person actually knows how to use Slowbro, I would say, a decent bit. And really for what Slowbro is great with, Surf, Telekinesis, being able to be that disabler right here. So I always think that that's worth mentioning. If we have a match focused on Zeraora, it's okay if we see somebody else doing awesome too, you know what I mean? It's great. So here's what we're going to talk about. This is the technique right here. With Zeraora, on your third basic attack, it's going to be boosted, and that will actually paralyze the enemy for a short amount of time. And Discharge actually allows you to pull in opponents who are paralyzed. And so what you do, we can replay this, especially slowed down, but you start out with a basic attack so that your gauge is already one attack ready. You're then going to start the Discharge. You got to do this pretty fast. And after the Discharge, you do basic attacks until you hit that boosted one, and then use your Volt Switch again. And Volt Switch, of course, on the second use is going to return you back to your original position. What I'm actually noticing right here is this might have actually been done with Slowbro, because we can see the boosted gauge right now on Zeraora. That's those two little dots, and it actually did not have the boosted attack ready yet right there. So that might have actually been with Slowbro's Surf, which, to be honest, is really great. That was like, it would have had to been at the last second of that Surf attack. So definitely well done on their part. That was an enemy Zeraora that they got caught up in that and needed Slowbro again to actually disable it, of course, because Zeraora, we already mentioned one escape method. Right there is your Volt Switch. As long as you use it again within about 4 seconds, you can then teleport back to your original position. But also another escape maneuver, as well as obviously powerful move, is going to be that Discharge, because as long as Discharge just hits one Pokemon, it could even be a wild neutral, you're going to get a shield actually from it. And so again, that can be used for any kind of sure hit maneuvers or just a general escape, which is very nice. And it looks like Venusaur right here on purple is going to get overwhelmed here on this bottom lane. It's obvious. We got a 3 versus 1 right there. And so normally, the squad might need to be thinking about a second rotation for Dreadnought. They still have a little bit of time. Not everybody is there, of course, so we're a little bit discombobulated, but obviously they were able to take out some of the oranges who were in that same position. And so this is interesting right here. This Talonflame attempting to use that Unite and then running into the wall. A nice timing on Cotton Guard right there from Eldegoss as well because Cinderace is using that Unite move. And then look at this. Zeraora's Unite move, Plasma Gale, big blast of lightning, you know, a sure hit, but also it will hit opponents in an area of effect and throw them. And really, you can use it kind of often, you know, for Zeraora. So this is one you actually don't really need to be stingy with, I would say. Luckily, left side team for them is going to get that Dreadnought once again. Like we said, you know, sometimes you can be kind of disoriented as a squad, you know, and maybe not fully all there together. And Orange really seems to be the ones that fit that characteristic in this match. Purple did a great job, you know, just kind of doing some of those things that are seemingly base level, I would say, for especially Masters play. But you can see Zeraora and Cinderace. It's sort of like an interesting matchup there. We'll get to observe it 1v1 later on, you know, coming up pretty soon, actually. And the reason it's interesting is just because, obviously, with the melee and the range attackers, both obviously having high mobility and whatnot, Zeraora has that ability to close the distance on Cinderace, and that's that distance that it really needs. So Zeraora can do that pull technique with Discharge and Volt Switch on Rotom, for example. You know, if you want to get Rotom kind of more to your side, if there's a lot of people trying to fight you for it. But right here, we notice Zeraora on the Orange squad this time actually able to survive once again with that high mobility. I mean, using Volt Switch, there really is, I mean, like between Volt Switch and Spark, I do love Volt Switch personally. I could see why someone would go Spark, obviously. Kind of popular to have that with Discharge, just to make sure that, you know, while you are with that Discharge, you want that full duration of the move, Discharge again, to be pretty much right on top of or near the opponent. You know, you want the full effects of it to hit just to maximize it in general. But we see how well Volt Switch is being used, especially in this match, by both Zeraoras, really, because right here, boom, Lucario is going to get that KO, but you can see just how effective that is, you know, to get in, get out, or just get in generally, even if you're not going to get out in this case. Of course, Zeraora in a little bit of trouble, but nope, able to turn that around with that Unite move. Fantastic, keeps it in the fight, and again, with Discharge, you're going to get a shield, but also just having that Unite moves boost, then you Volt Switch out of there. Wigglytuff's going to try, I mean, you're going to try to Wiggly Chad that out, but to no avail, obviously. Left side team gets that Dreadnought again, and really that makes you think like it's all over. I mean, obviously with the Zapdos, I mean, the outcome could be either way, right? But look at our level disparity. I mean, the Talonflame on Orange and the Cinderace at least level 13, but Zeraora above them, Lucario above them on Purple. And so we can see the match in Purple's favor. I mean, really just the macro and micro plays of this squad were above generally most of the time. And so this is that Cinderace Zeraora dynamic right here. You can see Zeraora maybe thinking Cinderace was going to go this way, but nope, it's keeping the distance as it should. It wants to get this wild, you know, the Bouffalant right there. But Zeraora actually able to sneak that in, take that kill, while still remaining on target, you know, saying, hey, we do need to hit this Cinderace, but look at how fast that can just be changed right there with a Volt Switch, bang it out, Discharge, and nope, at that point, you're just in Cinderace's face like that. Again, the Slowbro doing what a Slowbro really should do. I feel, you know, it gets kind of shafted compared to, I think, a lot of other defenders, a lot of other Pokemon that can sort of do things that it can do, but it really does have that disabling down. And so anyway, as that Zeraora, I mean, you can sometimes just solo beast out these objectives. Rotom, Dreadnought, Zapdos right here when you're this high. And so look at this, you guys, disgusting. We got a good telekinesis from Slowbro, which is going to allow Zeraora, of course, it's going to use that Unite on that one lowly Cinderace right here. I mean, hey, if you want to clear out Orange for that Zapdos right now, that's your objective. I mean, just look at how fast, look at how clean all these maneuvers are. Great job to this Zeraora player. We are in that last little, like, 45 seconds of the match. Left side team then gets the Zapdos, so Purple pretty much has that in the bag right there. What a goal, and Orange just needs to hear that a few times before they say, you know what, let's back out of here. And so that is going to lead to surrender right here. But if you've kind of farmed in that early game through jungle with Zeraora, get to level 6, level 8, gank anybody who's overextending if you see opponents just coming way too far that you can get the jump on. Zeraora, great for that. The Assassin. And so we'll be back to shoutcasting the matches next. Please feel free to click an end screen on screen to see one of those. And thanks for viewing.